feels like they're in space, and they might as well be in space. I could see Meg becoming an absolute kind of joke like Sharknado is, and them ending up in space because this is just so ridiculous. I'm not buying anything in this film. Uh, Everything is cranked up a notch, but in a bad way. What's up, everyone? Jim Alexander here with Real Talker, about to be eaten completely by this big shark, um, who's basically has my head in its mouth. So I don't know how long this is going to take before he closes his mouth and swallows me up, but I'll try to make this quick and painless, because this movie is anything but that. Okay, it is painful. It is not quick, and damn, check out a clip.
Jonas, we need your help. We're detecting increased aquatic activity 25,000 feet deep in the trench. It's an ancient ecosystem untouched by man. Whatever is down there is trying to make its way to the surface.
This was a bad idea.
Just a little bit.
All right. Where do I start with this mess? This is surprise. I didn't love it. Okay. For those of you, spoiler alert there. This movie is nearly 2 hours, an hour 56 of complete nonsense. And I mean, the nonsense starts really early, like with the first scene, because let me try to describe it. Apparently, the MEG's been around for 65 million years, and not to be confused with that horrible, equally horrible Adam Driver movie 65, at least recently. But we see like dinosaurs in the first clip here. Yeah, on a beach eating some dinosaur fish-like things, and then the Meg swallows up the T-Rex. So the Meg's been, I guess, around for 65 billion years and feeding on the ocean. I don't know what they were trying to do in this movie. I really don't. I don't know where to go with this. I don't know where to start. I do know that the same writers came back from the original, John Hober, Eric Hober, and Dean Georgaris. If I'm misspelling your name, apologies, but damn. This time, Ben Wheatley directs, which is surprising because he usually directs kind of odd indie English films, like High Rise and stuff, but I wouldn't imagine him doing this. It's a big removal, I guess, a big budget action flick. I mean, he's done budget. I mean, he's done action flicks. I don't know budget really. He's more of an indie guy. But he did Free Fire. That's kind of definitely an action flick. But man, was this a damn tragedy. I guess the plot is we're still researching Meg and exploring the depths of the ocean here. And the team of, it's kind of, if you've seen the first one, the team sort of is broken up in half in this one. Some returning actors, some not. Of course, you have Jonas Taylor, Jason Statham returning. You have Sophia Kai as returning as Mei Ling, who was the little girl in the first one, and now she's a teenager, basically. Her mother is nowhere to be seen, who was the love interest, basically, of Jonas and Jason Statham's character in the first one, and she played a big part. And unless I missed it when I wasn't paying attention, which is very possible because it's hard to pay attention, I did not see Bing Bing Lee playing Suyin, okay? Because I don't know why. She was a big central character in the first one. Her daughter's here, unless she somehow died in between the first and second movie. Maybe to explain it, I didn't see it. Ruby Rose is not back playing Jax. And The Wall is also not back. And Jessica McNamee is not back as Lori. But besides Mei and Jonas, you do have Cliff Curtis playing Mac. So the buddy of Jonas, Mac, is back. That makes sense and rhymes. And you also have DJ as played by Paige Kennedy, the comedic relief sort of Paige Kennedy. Those are the only back. So you have DJ, Mei, Mac, and Jonas back on a team. Everyone else is gone, disappeared, probably swallowed by the Meg. And they're probably lucky that they missed out on this film too, because it's a complete and utter disaster of a movie. Damn, where do I start with this all? Because this is a train wreck. I guess in this story and this incarnation, we don't get the mom, but we do get the uncle of Mei. Jing Wu plays Juming Zhang, and he's kind of the son. And we saw his father in the first film die. Spoiler alert. And his sister's nowhere to be found, but the uncle's here and he's doing space exploration. I mean, I said space, and it might as well be space because they go under the water in these. Obviously, the technology's improved since the first film, so you have more techie stuff. They go in these little. Seems like I wouldn't call them underwater space vessels, but see space once again, underwater vessels, but they seem like space vessels. They really do. And when they go underwater, they're like walking on surface and everything. And it really in a cave, underwater cave, it feels like they're in space. It literally looks, it's got the red sort of red light. And it feels like they're in space, and they might as well be in space. I could see Meg becoming an absolute kind of joke like Sharknado is, and them ending up in space, because this is just so ridiculous. I'm not buying anything in this film. Everything is cranked up a notch, but in a bad way. Like, while at least we knew in the first one that the villain's the Meg, and the good guys are trying to get rid of Meg before, eating up the ocean and eating people on land. This time around, we don't really see the Meg at all, here and there, but we see these like dinosaur things that I guess live in a water, but they're on land, attacking people too, and of course eating and killing some of these characters. But what is the explanation for this? Why do we have dinosaurs in this film, people? I don't know what these creatures are. They sure as hell look like dinosaurs to me. So if you want to sell it as something else or some water species, they don't look the part. They're definitely like mini T-Rexes on land, sort of a hybrid of an alligator and T-Rex. I don't know what this movie's about and what happens here. All I know is this bunch of these T-Rexes are all over the place, and they're battling them and trying to kill them. And Jonas is just doing just out of this world ridiculous stuff in the water and surviving, out swimming the Meg, and all just, I don't know, some of the first movies coming over me too, so it's just all a big blur and cloud. But this movie had no purpose, had no point. The acting was bad. It's just, I know your first movie made money and it was somewhat of a cult hit. I don't see how the Trench and whatever the hell the Trench is and means makes anything. It's just a brutal movie. I saw this in a drive-in and there was cars leaving left and right, okay? Because a cool drive-in experience was only ruined by the Meg, okay? So that's there for you. If you can see, I'm gonna move. What's the Meg eating here? It's a dog. This dog apparently gets swallowed by the Meg and eaten, and then comes back to life or floats out after the Meg's destroyed, or I think they destroyed Meg. I lost track of this movie as I'm watching. Like, I'm watching it, but I'm also not understanding what I'm watching. So I'm so distracted by what I'm seeing on screen that I'm disinterested. Like, this movie had a legit reaction to me, a one of disinterest. And like, how am I watching something literally and staring at the screen and not knowing what happened, not knowing if, like, I'm literally visually not paying attention because this movie checks you out so quick. It doesn't allow you to pay attention to it. It's just a disaster all around. This is one of Jason Statham's worst films ever. I know this is a money grab sort of film, but it's just brutal all around. And man, I would be shocked if there's a Meg 3 unless it's a direct to streaming or VOD release with a much smaller budget and without Jason Statham, and just being sort of a pun of a movie like Sharknado. At least you know what you're getting in Sharknado. You know when you go into it, you're in for laughs and, you know, just ridiculous stuff. But this one semi takes it seriously. At least the whole Meg, you know, the hunt for the Meg, but it cannot be taken seriously in no matter an aspect. The jokes are just cringy bad and corny. Like I said, the character of DJ is back and he's a comedic relief. Now he knows karate and can shoot, and he's literally like a top like video game character like Max Payne or something, and you know, in shootouts and diving shots and falling midair shooting and stuff. Like, this character was a computer tech geek in the first one, and apparently he's learned you know, self-defense and karate and to be a professional grade A you know, action hero shooter. It's ridiculous, and his jokes are just bad too. Like, in the first one was just corny stuff and it maybe gave you a chuckle or a giggle, but they're trying to hype up the DJ character into like an action guy, and it's just horrible, and the comedy is even worse. This movie's just terrible. That's all I gotta say. I can't even go into this further. You should not be watching this review or this film any further because it's that bad. But before you leave, I will give out my scores, and you bet they're low. Oh, is there anything good about this film? Not really. I mean, this is just how you waste money. This is called a shitting on money sort of movie. Just flush it down the toilet. Completely a waste of everything all around. This is one of the worst things I've seen this year for sure. So let's give our grades here. Acting. Oh boy, what are we going to get here? And I'm being generous with these grades. Like, I am trying to find a silver lining in these films, and there's really nothing here. 2 out of 10. And that's being generous. I don't know where I got the 2, but I'll just give it maybe for the effort of showing up and trying to play this somewhat seriously, even though they don't, but not laughing constantly or just walking off the set would be worth 2 out of 10 for the acting. Entertainment value, 2.5 out of 10. Maybe there's one cool shark eating scene or whatever it is. But that's about it. 2.5 out of 10. Very generous. And plot story, what plot? What story? There is none. 1.5 out of 10. I gave it just, I guess, an attempt to show up again, bring back some similar characters or actors, some sort of continuation. 1.5 is the best I could give for this disaster. And impression, well, made quite an impression on me. A bad one though. 2 out of 10. There's just no impression besides how ludicrous and ridiculous this movie is. Not to say that I expect a serious movie or anything like that. I saw the first one. I know what to get here. But the first one was semi-entertaining at times. At least it had some cool moments in it. This had nothing cool about it. It was just all ridiculous from start to finish. But I guess, you know, the impression, it makes, for giving a bad impression, I'm giving it 2 out of 10. And creativity, I don't know what's creative about this. You added dinosaurs. I guess that's creative in a sense in a modern world. You brought up some dino creatures no one's seen or can't tell anything about. So 3 points right there, 3 out of 10. This all combined as a miserable score of 22%. I thought it was actually going to be lower when I did the calculations, and it'd be under 20. Somehow, due to my generous scoring, it got barely over 20%. It's a bad movie. Do not see it. It's not worth anything. It's a huge pile of smelly, smelly crap. So there's the MEG for you, the trench. Do not go into that trench or you'll waste a night or a few hours. 2 hours almost for this. Unbelievable. That is, I think, the most shocking thing about this movie, that they managed to do this for an hour 56. Unreal. What is real is that you can subscribe to me. So please click that subscribe button, and that always helps out. And thumbs up if you like this review. Not trying to purposely bash it. It's just a horrible, horrible experience. So if you enjoyed this, my misery and talking about it, give me a thumbs up and a comment. If you were unfortunate enough to see this movie or plan to see it or have a different take or somehow liked it, please comment and let me know. I am very curious to hear that. And in the meantime, you can follow me on social media at the Jim Alexander and TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff, and at the Real Talker. So that's where you can follow me. And until next time, boy, I hope I see something better. I am stuck in this trench, but I'm relieving myself of this movie. Literally. Talk to you later.